Hi, I'm Nivedita Indrajit and I'm in conversation with Ekta Saran. Hi, Ekta. I'm
Hi,
really happy that you
Nivedita.
agreed to have a chat with me.
I am so happy to be here, Nivedita. And we've always spoken on calls, and
We've
I'm
exchanged
really honored to
books.
be here. Yes, I really want to thank you for that. The timing of it was just so perfect. Like when you posted in the group saying who's looking for books, and I said, okay, me. And we picked out 4 books. You went out, you got those books, sent it across to me. And you know what? Just in time, just before the lockdown started, I
And
had plenty to read during the lockdown.
yeah,
Thank you.
welcome. Actually, the day before that, I had asked consciousness, can you lead the way? Can you tell me what to do? It was like, I think it's time to get some books. I don't have any books because I gave away all my books or sold them because I wanted to use Kindle and not physical copies.
Yeah, yeah.
And then suddenly, one of the access facilitators said, I'm giving these books. So I said, okay, I'm going to take them. And then it just felt like I should take them all.
I just want to say the energy of those books, the person who owned them before, really matches my energy because the way I read, like I like to highlight stuff and make notes. The person has done that in the books, and I'm like, this feels like it is my own book.
Yeah,
So grateful for consciousness for leading us to each other.
yeah. So there were a couple of things that came, and a couple of others asked me, "Is this what you want to do with your life? We don't take your books." And I said, "I don't have a point of view about what I'm doing, whether it is
Hmm.
books or whether it is something else. It's not like I have a definition of this is what is creating greater. We
Did it
can't
bring you
really
joy?
know what is creating greater. And even as we started this call, there was a blue ray that came in. Would you like to talk about that?
Yes. So
Of
that
course,
is
it's no longer there, but
That's really beautiful. So I am an angel therapy worker and practitioner. I do a lot of work with angels on healing and card readings. And in angel therapy, we believe in lights and colors that are significant to the archangel. And the blue ray that appeared for me, it was as if it was a blessing from Archangel Michael that, hey, look, here I'm with both of you. Go ahead and have fun. And
yeah.
I feel really close to Archangel Michael. Like, I know he always has my back. I've called upon him many times, and I am blessed to be introduced to this world of angels. So happy.
I'm so glad that he showed up.
Yes, he showed up. We saw that, and we said, okay, let him be here for the interview. So let's see. He may join us later.
Yeah. So tell me
Yeah.
about you and your childhood.
Okay. So my earliest memories of my childhood is like uh, our family used to own a factory, an apparel making factory, and my dad used to take me to the factory a few days. Like when I was getting too much probably at home, I used to be at the factory. I used to love walking around, where the machines were, where the tailors were working, and collect all these, the chindi of the material that was being used, the scrap.
Yeah.
And I used to collect all of them, put them together, and then sit with the tailor and ask him to make a dress for my daughter.
Okay.
I'm sure it must have been annoying to them at that time. But later on in life, I realized that that's something that came so naturally to me. And eventually, I chose to become a designer and a creative person and things like that. But that's my earliest memory of how, I used to look out for stuff, put them together, and make them look really beautiful. That was one. Growing up for me, I think with my younger brother, we used to have a lot of fun. We used to just do this whole pretend play stuff. And it wasn't like, that the typical, dollhouse and that kind of a thing, but it was very different for me. So very early on, like I used to grind leaves and flowers and say, okay, this is the medicine you need to take, and this is going to heal you and stuff like little did I know that there's so much that exists in nature. Now I know that it does. But as a child, it was just fun for me to play with. I used to also do stuff like, oh, you have a headache, let me remove it for you, and things like that. And later on, as I learned Reiki and other healing modalities, I was like, okay, now I get what I used to do as a child. So yeah, it's amazing to see how children show certain behaviors when they are kids, Nowadays, I think parents are a little more conscious, a little more aware of what's happening around, and we can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think my parents saw it, but saw it in a very different way. Like they definitely encouraged my creative passion. I always had these great and grand ideas. We used to have a garden, and my summer holidays plan would be, Mama, this summer holiday, I am going to set up a chai ka stall. And like my mom's like, really, chai ka stall? Like, why would you want to do that? I'm like, we have such a good garden. And imagine there's so many people who come out for walks in the evening. It's really fun to give them tea and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've always had this thing of creation and business. Like it's always
Yeah.
there, I
Yeah.
think, for me. And yeah, those are my fun childhood memories.
It's so nice and beautiful that, actually as children, we know everything. I mean, it's just that we are cut off. Like,
Exactly.
there's a knowing that happens, and sometimes there is a cutting off that happens, and sometimes there's an allowing that happens. Both
Yes,
are okay. I guess we will finally go where we are
of
going.
course, destined to. Yeah.
We'll figure that out, whether it's a small curve or a bigger curve.
Yeah.
The curve does happen.
Yes, it does.
So, were there any learning curves? Were there any life-changing moments?
Oh, there were many life-changing moments. So for me, okay, I come from a background where it was like, okay, you study, do your 12th, then we'll get you married, or do your graduation, then we'll get you married. But my dad really encouraged me to study, to take up a career. And he always wanted to see me as, one business head or a CEO. And he said, wouldn't it be great if, your name would appear on an annual report of an organization? I'm like, yeah, whatever. It didn't make sense to me then. But now I know what he meant. And for me, the choices that I made, my first job that I took up, Nivedita, was at a call center because after my graduation, I was like, I'm not wasting any more time. I want a job like now. So I took up a job at a call center and I was selling credit cards. And I was good. I was on the phone, but I realized like within a month or so, like this is not what I want to do. And I went and spoke to my unit head, and she said, you know what? You'll be good for the field. I was like, field? Like, yeah, go to offices door by door and sell credit cards. So I was like, okay. And this is way back, like, I think now maybe 99 or 2000. I used to go door to door selling credit cards, and I have never done like too much walking around and stuff like that. And there used to be days when I used to come home like really dead tired and just lie down without eating and just go off to sleep. And my dad would come to me and say, you know what, Ekta, I don't think you're made for this, And he used to like really press my legs and like, this is too much trouble for you. And I was like, Dad, but I need to learn. I need to learn how others cope with work, how everyone doesn't have an easy life. So I think that very early on, when my dad encouraged me to take up a career, choose a career, was fantastic. My first few days showed me that, working was not like just, everyone said like, being in Bombay, you have to travel by local trains, go
Yeah.
to, walk door to door offices, get rejections. It wasn't easy for a young person just fresh out of college. But yeah, I think my learning experience was that, follow your own inner guidance. There is something that shows you the way, believe in yourself. Because if I had like, followed what my dad said, life would have been really like easy for me. He said, you don't need to do this. I really didn't
Yeah.
need to go door to
Yeah.
door.
Yeah.
So for me, the biggest lesson is that I will always learn and evolve as a person.
Hmm.
And I believe in that. So Nivedita, I have not stopped after that. I educated myself. I did an MBA. I kept upgrading my skills and knowledges, not only from a business point of view. Like very recently, what did I say? Around 4 or 5 years ago, I went back to college to do a 1 year certification course. I went to ISB to do that. I've
Okay.
done my MBA from IIM, and all this while I was just working because I realized that in life I cannot be static, and I have to, at least that was for me. It may not be true for everybody else, but for me, it's beautiful to learn more, to know more, and then to go ahead and implement it. Like, I
Right.
feel I can contribute so much more.
There is so much excitement in using it practically, right? Like whatever you
Yes,
learn, and
yes, of
if
course.
you were to discover something different way to do it or mix two things to do it. It's just like you're a scientist in your
Boom.
own life.
True, true, true.
So I can just see the connections because around 99 and 2000, even I was working with something called Ask Me Information Services, which
Oh,
was to do
wow.
with call center, which was also to do with going out. So 3 days was this and 3 days was that. And I was
Yeah,
like, so I can relate to how much experience of people that
yeah,
can come up with, and
yeah,
it's
yeah.
real time. It's not behind a curtain.
No, and also, Nivedita, at times like this, it's very easy to give up. And what I learned was like giving up was not a choice for me. Like my
Yeah.
dad always gave me that choice that you don't need to do this. Why don't you join a bank? Why don't you become a teacher?
Oh
So,
no.
so he gave me choices,
So
but
did you
I,
join a bank?
I didn't join a bank, but because I was passionate about fashion, I joined fashion industry. I joined apparel exports. And that's where, that story about me walking around with, in a room full of tailors picking up chindis, that's what actually materialized for me as
Hmm.
my first big break.
Oh, okay.
And I had done my fashion designing along with my graduation. So I've always kind of probably multi-level or multi-skilled myself. So I had done my BCom, but simultaneously I was also learning fashion designing. And fashion designing for me actually just started off like, um, just as, okay, I'm good at sketching, let me give it a shot. And I started with that. What I realized when I got my first job was that fashion designing on paper and what you learn in college wasn't exactly as is in real life. Like in real life, it was a lot more. It was, you were dealing with customers, you were dealing with clients from overseas, how to interact with people. It was like a totally different ball game. But that really, helped me a lot. My first job, my first boss gave me one of the biggest lessons that I had. And he said, Ekta, never come to me with a problem. If there's a
Yeah.
problem, there is a solution for it somewhere. Please come to me with a solution. And I live by that. I really live by that. I feel like, yes, if there are problems, there is obviously a solution
Yeah.
for it
That's
somewhere
what they say, no? When a problem comes in, the solution has already been created, hence
already
the
been
problem.
created. Right.
So where did
Thank
it go
you.
next? Like, how did you become an angel card reader? And
Oh, that is really interesting. So, yeah, during my career and course of life, I had my baby, and that's in the year about 2005. And you know how babies are like, when they cry as a mother, you don't know like what's really bothering her. And I like, still like, I only wish I know what's bothering her because, okay, I've fed her. I've tried to do this. I've tried to do that. Maybe she's sleepy, but I just could not figure out what's wrong with her. And I used to always ask, like, maybe I wish there's something that helps me connect with her, to help her calm down and heal. Also, I used to like doubt myself a lot, like, okay, am I a good mother or not, because
yeah.
she's crying so much. And then, there are days when I'm working as well. So I'm like, I don't know whether I'm a good mother or not. And at that time, it so happened that my nanny, she was severely ill. And we are all in Bombay, like my mamas are in Ahmedabad, my mamas and my masi. And my masi called me and said, why don't you come and meet her? Because we don't know how she's going to be and stuff like that. So we went, we saw her. She'd been bedridden for like more than a week or 10 days. Her body was like fully bloated. It was so heavy that, even if she needed to go to the bathroom, both my mamas needed to be there to hold her and take her in. And so I was like, okay, fine, at least I'm here. I went there with my child and my husband, and, like, at least I'm here, I'm getting to see her. And whatever is God's will show up. That evening, their neighbor came in and he said, you know what, I am a Reiki healer. I channel Reiki energy. Would you like me to, run it for your grandma? And we were all like, yeah, let's do it. Like, what's the harm? And he did that. And the next morning, she actually stood up from her bed. She could go to the washroom on her own. And it just made me super curious. I was like so in awe with this energy of Reiki. I was like, in 1 hour's healing session, the change I saw in her was like radical. And I was like, wow, I wonder what this is all about. And that question was somewhere in my mind. And then, you know how they say when something's meant to show up, it shows up. So I
Yeah.
was reading a newspaper, and then there's one ad saying, okay, Reiki class. I was like, okay. I just like jumped in and I went for my Reiki class. And I just saw my life changing. And one after the other, you know, each healing modality pulls you. So then I got into angel card therapy. Then I've done soul therapy. I've, you know, now bars practitioner and CFMW. I'm also like a joyous body practitioner. So one after the other, like, you know, I just felt the universe is opening up the options for me.
Mm.
And it was really beautiful for me, like to just see how energy works, you know, whether
Yeah.
we call it Reiki, whether we call it angel energy, or like, you know, in shamanism it's the energy of the nature elements. You know, it's just energy everywhere, right?
Yeah, I think we just try to segregate it into certain
Yeah.
areas so that we can understand and comprehend
True,
it better and
true,
not overwhelm ourselves.
true.
But I think to describe what all of life is, it's really difficult because there's no definition for that.
That's so beautifully put, Nivedita. That's so beautifully put.
Yeah, thank you.
So you were
So
telling me you are also into angel therapy, and will you
yeah,
tell me a little bit about?
angels arrived in a very dramatic way into my life, I think.
Wow.
Because one of my friends was doing angel hosting.
Okay.
So she said, would you like to host angels? I was like, yeah, right. I mean, angels are going to come sit in my house and I'm going to give them chai, coffee. Like, I was not, I mean, at
Oh
that point of
yeah.
time, I was kind of a little frustrated with people as such. And the kind of separation that they create, that
Yeah.
it's like, so I just copy pasted that in my thing. Acha, और लोग आएंगे, उसको चाय पिलाना पड़ेगा, whatever. So I kind of dismissed it, not with any vehemence, but with that, I can't explain. So she said, it's okay. You see, I said, I need proof that I can really get that, what you're talking about. I don't want to disrespect what you're doing. At
Yeah.
the same time, if I'm not going to understand what you're doing, that's not really going to make me be what I need to be at that point of time. So I said, yeah, they will show up the way they will show up and you will know. I'm like, yeah, right. And so I don't know if you know Hyderabad topography, that we have a place called Banjara Hills.
Yes, I'm
From there,
familiar with.
if you have to go towards a place called Gachibowli, it's about 16 kilometers maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I am now
I mean,
familiar with Hyderabad.
okay, I think so. I'm not really sure the distance, but we go up. There's a lane called Taj Krishna and Taj Banjara. There are two hotels, and there's
Yes.
an up that goes. There's a signal, and you can go left or right towards going. So I just stepped out of her house and stepped into that lane, and there was a traffic jam, and the
Oh,
jam had only white cars.
wow.
Only white cars, and it
Wow.
surprised me that how can so many white cars. So my brain was still off. I mean, I wasn't really recognizing it. I'm like, all white cars, how amazing. I mean, can this happen too? So then suddenly in that traffic where we cannot even budge, there's an opening that happens and there's one car that zooms past.
Yeah.
The number plate says God.
Oh my God.
I'm like,
Amazing.
my eyes are like, I rub my eyes. I'm like, no, this is not. And that God changes to 600. I'm like, okay, it's
Wow.
600. It's okay. I am not freaking out. And then goes the numbers 1111.
Amazing.
White cars,
Angel
2222,
signs. Yeah.
3333, four four
All
four
angel
four,
signs, angel
five five
numbers.
five five. There
Oh
is
my
no
God.
six. And
Seriously?
then 7, 8, 9. I'm like, okay, I get it. Whatever is happening, something is happening. I don't know what this. I didn't know angel numbers then.
Wow.
I'm like, what is this? First God, and then there's an entourage kind of a cars going, and how come
Wow.
they can go? How come we can't go in the traffic?
Wow.
And then I'm like, then suddenly an idea pops. Oh, okay, this is something to do with angels and something. I had to call her. So I immediately called her on speaker. I said, this is happening. She said, yeah, that's the angel numbers. I'm like, okay, then I will. Then I told her, okay, fine. If that is what it is, I'm still not satisfied. I'm telling her, okay, if that is so, I will take the angels with me. Let them clear up the traffic now.
Yeah. My
It
God.
just opens up, okay? And
My God.
all the
That's
way to my house, there are only white cars, and I'm able to drive through all the way 16 kilometers. And I'm like, okay, there is something here. I need to really. Then I
wow.
come home, and my husband's like, what? he's asking me the question now. Are they, where do they sleep? Are they going to sleep somewhere? Do we have to sleep outside? Or, all these conversations. So, and then somehow Archangel Michael kind of gets the energy. I get the energy of that. And I'm like, okay, there is the present. I can feel the presence.
Yeah.
And then there was something I was working on, which I was not able to work on. And I broke down really bad. And I just, closed my eyes and sat down in the kitchen. I could feel like wings.
Wow.
People flock with wings around. It's like just wings. And I'm like, am I imagining? Am I going crazy? I'm still doubting that.
Yeah.
And then I said, okay, no doubt. Let's just receive it.
Wow.
And then my husband's like, okay, you can, she will tell you. It's his friend actually. So I said, yeah, she'll tell you something and you will like, okay, you're doing it. I don't know. So I wish he could have some proof. Then a car in my house moves.
Wow.
My husband's like, you are trying to freak me out, okay? You're trying to remote control the car. I said, I don't have the remote. So he checked me around and I had no remote. Then he saw the remote. He said, you must have moved it and kept the remote there. I said, no, I didn't. Then he goes to the remote is switched off.
Oh
the car moves forward. Then I said, maybe it's Archangel Michael having fun with the car, I told him.
Yeah.
He likes instruments and stuff like that. He said, yeah, right. So that he's now driving the car. Oh, is he going to now reverse? And the car goes reverse.
Seriously. It's funny how they show up, and it's so beautiful, if we are aware to what we can receive from them.
Yeah.
It's really
and that beautiful. Year was like full of magic. So, yeah.
It is.
And it continues to be. So, I can go on and on about that. That's a separate entire 1 hour conversation we can have.
Same here. I have so many stories to share about my experience with angels. But what you just said, like, the universe really wanted you to see and hear your angels. That was the time when you required them the most.
Yeah.
And they showed up in a way that you would understand the best.
Right.
Like really magical.
Like I can see the petrol going zero and I'm saying I can't fill petrol. What do I do now? And there's no petrol station that is giving petrol. And I'm like, okay, fine, angels, take care of this. The mark goes up. You can go 50 kilometers. You can go 100 kilometers.
Exactly.
You can go.
Exactly.
And I'm like, my husband's like, what are you doing on an empty tank? Why are you driving in an empty tank? I'm like, no, it was showing you can go, I'm going. So
yeah, I have had so many experience of when my fuel tank is like zero and I'm like, oh my God, there's no fuel tank next to me. I'm like, okay, my angels are here, Archangel Michael, the fuel tank is showing zero. Just make me reach my destination or the nearest fuel tank. And you know how it can get in Bombay, like with the traffic jams and, at least the route that I take, there is no decent petrol pump like in the nearby vicinity. So it is really magical how they kind of help you through life.
Yeah.
Only we have to ask.
We have to ask and be willing to receive.
Yeah, be willing to receive. That's right.
Yeah.
And believe, Nivedita. Like a lot of people, like they know about angels, but how many ask, receive, and believe?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've had this fascinating story of, when my family, we were doing a road trip in US. And we were supposed to drive from Yosemite to Las Vegas. And it was supposed to be a longish drive. And because it's a left-hand drive, I'm not very comfortable driving it. My husband is. So he had to drive the whole route. And that evening, the next day we were supposed to leave, that evening it started snowing and stuff like that. And all over the radio channels is news like, okay, the roads are closing down. And that particular route that we wanted to take, which was going to be a shorter drive, like a 12-hour drive, was going to be closed, which meant we had to take the longer route, which should have taken us double the amount. And I just, I just surrendered. I said, okay, Archangel Michael, you have to help me clear this. And Archangel Raphael, because he helps you to, travel with ease. I said, Archangel Raphael, we would love to travel with ease. So let's see what you can, magic can both of you show up for us. And I just left it at that. And we slept. And the next morning we woke up and we checked the radio stations and stuff like that. And we were like, okay, that route has opened up. And it was the most beautiful drive we had because it had snowed the night before. So we experienced snow all around us and we were just driving through, and the most magical experience that trip.
Yeah.
Really
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, Nivedita, I think I can go on and on about this. So, yeah.
So, when you look at all the modalities that you work with, can you just give a brief about everything and how you function with them?
Sure. So I'm a
Because there are plenty of people who function. There is this misconception that, like for example, if it's Reiki, or
hmm,
let me put it out there. There's Reiki, and then there is access consciousness, and there is this whole thing that happens in metaphysics is okay, not okay, and then there is a strong point of view that okay, consciousness. We have to look at consciousness.
yes,
My journey has been that my teacher with Reiki has always talked about consciousness even while speaking Reiki.
yes,
So for me, I don't know the difference between the two. For me, it's the same.
yeah,
So, but there is a whole conflict out there in the universe where people who learn certain modalities think that is the only one. The others are. So there's a sense of separation there. And I would
yeah,
like us to create a oneness somewhere
yes.
if possible.
But it's a choice, Nivedita, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It's a choice. So for me, I don't like, I find similarities between different modalities. I don't go into the whole conflict in my head that, okay, if I am a Reiki healer teacher, then I should not be doing access. Or if I do access, I should not do this. Because for me, I feel there are different modalities that come up and show up for me and my clients as per what is required at that point in time.
Yes.
So I feel the baseline is its energy,
Yes.
right? Which is common
True.
connector.
True.
It's energy, it's consciousness. We're tapping into a knowingness that we all have. And that
Right.
is also what access says. And that is also what is believed in shamanism. That is
Yeah.
also what is believed in the angel therapy, that you're tapping into a knowingness that is
Yes.
already there within you.
Right.
So for me, there's no separation. And I don't want to say people should do this or people should not do this because it's their choice. It's really their choice. But for me, it shows it in very beautiful ways. Like I could use Reiki and angel therapy and soul therapy together, and I could use access on its own, but I could also use, I'm also a shamanism practitioner. So for me, I could use just that on its own. For me, it's all about connecting with the energy of people and things. And I, like you, I don't see a separation in the modalities.
Can you
And
explain about each modality, and like if somebody like for example if somebody were to be going through this and this kind of works, or I don't know the question to ask over here
so
exactly,
so I get
but
it, like what modality to use for which person is the question. Like,
kind of, but it's more like okay, what does this modality do? What like if I were to make dal, it goes into this is what comprises of dal,
right.
like that.
So yeah. So like dal, you will have your style of making dal, and I will have my own style of making dal. It could be the same
Right.
to dal, but the way we make it would be different, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Similarly, for me, like when I am working either on myself or with my clients, I actually understand with them what is it that they need, what is it that their body needs. I explain to them what is it that I do, and I offer them the choice as well. That okay, look, I am a Reiki master teacher, I do angel work, and I do, I run bars. These are different modalities. What would you like to receive from me? And then I kind of mix up things, like where I would probably mix it up with Reiki and angel therapy. I call upon Archangel Raphael. He's the archangel for healing. I call upon his emerald green light. I channel Reiki. So I kind of create my own dal to say say with that. So
Okay.
that's what it is
Can
for
you
me.
explain more about the soul healing?
So yeah, so soul healing is, we connect to our soul. So everything, even this table, chair, the windows, everything has energy and everything has a soul. So
Hmm.
when we are going through a pain, we can call upon the soul of that pain,
Okay.
and we can ask it, what is it trying to tell us and what would it like to receive? So that is what we do in soul healing. We tap into the soul of the pain and we say, okay, dear soul, the whole sentence is like the soul, mind, and body of this headache, you know. Um, what is it that you like to tell me about? What is the message that you're giving me? And then we run the healing on that.
Okay. And with angel therapy and angel healing, how do you approach it? Like, I mean, how do you go about the process?
So there is really no process. I follow the guidance. And it's not like, okay, there's some mumbo jumbo happening. It is in a way a process that you ground yourself, you center yourself, and you connect. So you kind of like become a nice white bright light column. And then I call upon the angels and ascended masters, and I ask them to see what is it that the person requires, whether it's in terms of the healing or the card reading or any guidance that the person needs at that point in time. And that's how I work. There are specific archangels that one can call upon. Each has a role. So like everyone knows, Archangel Michael is the protector. He, for me, he's this handsome dude who's like strong and always there to protect me. He's always there to, if things are going wrong with your cars or your laptop or your phone. Like there have been times where my phone battery is like almost 5 and I'm like, okay, now please bless this. And it lasts me till I require it. So each archangel has a role that their specific energy that they have, and we can call upon that. So Archangel Jophiel is the archangel of beauty and grace, and Archangel Raphael is for healing, for helping you with travel plans. If your flights are getting late and stuff, kind of they help you manage everything with ease. Also works with helping on soulmates. Yeah, there are many archangels, and many of them have these assigned roles. I love to call upon Archangel Michael for daily protection of myself, my family. I have this funny story about how I actually started driving. I used to be really scared of driving, like so scared that, my legs would tremble, like my knees would tremble like that together, and my whole back would be covered in sweat. And when I learned angel therapy, I said, okay, I'm going to call upon the angels and I'm going to do short drives. And you won't believe, Nivedita, that it just so happened that I had to take my daughter to some place and my husband wasn't here. And I said, okay, let me try. It's a short drive. I can drive from the X to Y. I can call upon my angels. And I said this aloud. My daughter was 3 years old. And I said this aloud and I said, look, Ananya, Mama's going to drive, but Mama's not as good as Papa. You just be quiet and, I'm calling upon the angels and we'll reach there fine and safe. You know what she said? Mom, Papa is good because he drives every day. You have to drive every day. And I'm like, this 3-year-old kid is telling me like I have to drive every day. I'm like, I'm sure this is my angels telling me this. And then I just started driving like, on a regular basis. I just call upon angels. So that is how, I work. So like I said, I don't make it into a very, significant, okay, this is the process. This is the ritual. Why not just have fun with it?
Yeah.
I just like sometimes, okay, angels, I don't know whether you're there. Give me a hug or show me a sign, and then I'll find a coin or a feather, and I'm like, okay, yes, you are.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think it's beautiful the way there's that communication and interaction, and you are always in oneness with everything around you, and that is a space of receiving from everything. I think in a way that's what we are actually saying. I mean, we are calling upon and we are saying these are the signs, but underneath that, what I am sensing is that we are now open to receiving.
Yes. That's so beautifully put, Nivedita. And thank you for acknowledging that for myself and for yourself both.
Yeah, yeah, and just look at how the backgrounds are matching.
Oh, yes. So we didn't plan this, but yes,
Okay,
there is, like, we didn't plan this
okay,
background matching, but it's just
yeah,
kind of a synchronicity in the world that happens.
yeah,
Nivedita, I would like to gift you a card reading. Would you like to receive that?
sure.
Okay, I'd like you to close your eyes and plant your feet firmly on the ground. Imagine their deep roots growing and connecting you to Mother Earth. Take a deep breath in and release any stress, pressures, tensions down to Mother Earth. And now, as you breathe in all her love, her solidity, her support up to your heart center. Now, keep it there, store it there. Now, I would like you to take a deep breath in and exhale from the top of your crown up towards the heaven, releasing any stress, any worries, any negativities that are bothering you up to Father Heaven. And now breathe in this beautiful white light from heaven above into your crown chakra and down to your heart. And from this space, we now ask the angels to give you a guidance for your highest and best of what you would like to hear today and what you would like to receive today. You can open your eyes.
So funny, like just before we are doing this conversation, I was taking my bath and I was like, okay, what do I do today? Tell me, tell me, tell me.
That's amazing
And now
because
you are
you're
giving me guidance.
okay. What do you do today? So I've picked up 3 cards, and I'll probably also send this across to you later on on the WhatsApp chat. But the first card that came up is Seven of Gabriel.
Okay.
Sure, whether you can see that, yeah.
Yeah.
And she
Yeah.
says, stand up for what you believe in. And I think what you're doing with your show is fantastic, Nivedita. Like, what you do for being moved around with consciousness is amazing. It inspires people. Like, you didn't need to go around getting books for people and moving it across towns, but that's something that you believe in and bringing joy to other people's lives.
Yeah. It brings
And
me
by
joy
being
too.
exactly, and by being yourself. So yeah, she says, have confidence, stand up for what you believe in, and you're going to aim for the sky, and you'll see how she's roaring in like success over there.
Yeah.
Also, maybe like you might want to pay attention to probably aligning and balancing your chakras as well, just to feel that connectedness and just amp up your confidence, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Claim your personal power.
Ah,
You
yes.
are awesome. Claim your personal power. Well, there is another card which says change your life, and that's obviously a choice for you. Change your life. And that's Archangel Samuel. He's saying that break free of any procrastination or anything that kind of brings doubt to your plans. Embrace the opportunities that show up for you. So have confidence and embrace the opportunities that show up for you. It is time for celebration because there is abundant reward for all your hard work. There's also a sense of unity between you and your partner. So it's such a beautiful card with a couple here. They are in the mood of celebration and with the angels blessing from heavens above.
Yes.
So release yourself of any doubts, just claim your power back, be confident, and then celebrate.
Yeah. I think I need to acknowledge the celebration more because a lot has changed.
Yeah.
Like I think I've seen a different world when I married him.
Wow.
It's yeah. So for me, I think my receiving or the way people function,
Yeah.
or the way people can also function came to me because I think his world or his family and the whole people that I've met in the circle, I think that's totally different in the beginning that I never really understood it.
Yeah.
And then I understood it's just that there is no agenda there. It's just barriers down and receive or,
Yeah.
just have that space.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
True. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Send you these readings so you can also look at them and see what else shows up for you.
Yeah. Is there anything that I didn't ask you that you would like to talk about? Is there any subject which is very close to your heart that you wish that it's out there?
So no, it's not that you didn't ask me. It's a subject that's very close to my heart is how do we bring about this sense of balance and ease in our lives? So as a mother, as a daughter, as a working woman, does life overwhelm us? It could be women, it could be men. And what if there could be so much more ease and joy in everything that we do?
Yeah.
And that actually, that question when I asked myself is what led me to Access Consciousness.
Okay.
And I feel that's something that we could all explore, that life doesn't have to be hard. It can be easy. It's our choice on how we learn from it and how we make it easy.
Yeah. Yeah. Access consciousness talks about all of life comes to me with ease,
To
joy,
me,
and
with ease,
glory.
joy, and glory. Exactly. I really love that. I
Yeah.
truly love that
Yeah.
because it
It's
does.
like the words are matching the energy.
It does. Definitely.
And it's explainable, tangible. At the same time, there is an intangible attached to that tangible.
Right. And I experience this in like day-to-day life. Like when I'm talking to people and they're like, okay, I'm going through this trauma and this drama and stuff like that, and this is happening and stuff. I'm like, okay, hang on, just step back, and look at the blessings that you have in this, and just change the perspective. I know it's not easy in most cases, but most cases it's important to step back and to look at it from a different perspective. Your whole view about what you're going through will change.
Right.
And I feel like that is where Access Consciousness plays a big part in my life. It started, like, of course I've started asking a lot more questions, and things have started showing up very differently for me. Like, things are opening up, opportunities are coming in. I no longer am set in a box. I think there's multiple things that I can do now, so I'm really
You also
grateful for that as
teach
well.
the access bars, right?
I'm on
Or,
my road to become one a facilitator. I'm an
okay.
Access Bars practitioner, and
Okay.
I'm choosing to be a facilitator soon.
Okay.
That's something
I
I'd
hope
love
you,
to do.
yeah, I hope you do, because there is a lot more that we can contribute as people.
I
While we can practice one head at a time, I
Yeah,
think when we're in a class where we're teaching something, even you know that with Reiki as well, you teach the
yes,
class.
yes,
So a lot more people can go and practice at home. There
definitely.
is a certain codependency that goes out of the equation when there is a self practice.
Right. I so agree with you. Like, for me, when I got my bars run, I saw a big shift. And I said, if this is what it can do to me, like, I used to be a person who used to be like multiple thoughts and dhar, and my head would be like, and there would be things like migraine and stuff because my head would be throbbing. And my friend suggested, get your bars run. I got that run for myself, and the kind of peace I felt, I hadn't felt that like in ages. And I think this is what it can do to me. How much can it contribute to everybody? So I went ahead and learned it. And then again, with Access Consciousnesses, one thing leads to another. And I'm very happy to have chosen this road of becoming a facilitator.
Excellent. And I also want to ask you questions about business, because long back in the
Yes.
conversation, you did mention business. So tell us your perspective of business and how you like to run it, or what do you like to see and change in the area of business of people?
Right. So for me, there's business before awareness and business after awareness. Okay.
Okay.
So business before awareness was, okay, this is the process, this is the system, this is the timeline, and you have to be strict because you're the boss and da 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 da. Okay, the typical mindset of being a business. And I say after awareness because Reiki and angel therapy, and now of course Access Consciousness has introduced me to a different scope of managing business. I think I'm a much more conscious leader right now. I see all businesses have a purpose. The purpose to serve not only itself, but to serve the customer, the employees, and the consciousness on the whole. So I see business from it being a purpose rather than it being a business that's here to make money.
Right.
When I function from, okay, how can I serve today? I feel I bring in a totally different energy to my day with my colleagues and my team members. And I feel like, when you put together in a team, your team matches your energy as well. So either you are contributing to them and they are contributing to you, and you are on the large contributing to the larger good of the business. I've seen, I have turned around businesses using this. So I used to come from a mindset, okay, if the business is not functioning, 1 to 3 things need to change. And now I've come from a space where I say, okay, this business is not working. What is the purpose of the business that it is not able to deliver? And how can we all facilitate it to deliver what the purpose is? Because at times we forget, we get so blinded by profit that we forget the purpose. So that's my view on business. And I feel business is fun. It should be fun. It shouldn't be something that comes out of a necessity for us to do. And I work in an organization. I head a business vertical. I also create my stuff. So it, everything can coexist. It doesn't need to be one thing or the other, is again my point of view. But it can be fun. It has to be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love to be in the business of business.
Yeah. So thank you so much for having this conversation. I think it has taken its own twists and turns, and I think we spoke about a lot of things. And it's really nice talking to you.
Thank you,
And thank you for
Nivedita.
the angel card reading.
Thank
And
you.
thank you for your wisdom.
I really enjoyed it. I absolutely feel like I'm having a chat with my long lost friend, and that you are. I'm really honored to be here, and I wish you all the success with what you're doing. I think what you're doing is amazing. Reaching out to people and letting their stories come out in one way or the other. I'm sure even if we inspire one person who sees this or any of the videos, you would have achieved what you set out to.
Yeah, I think I've experienced that in the first 2-3 weeks of my
Yes.
doing this, because when I uploaded one video, one of the days, one of the person, because I put my number there, right? So I
Yeah.
received a call saying that thank you for putting this online, because uh, I just could feel that if this person can do this, I can do so much more. And that
Wow.
when that popped up in her life, the exact moment when she was having the most difficult moment, and I just felt, oh wow, that made my day. So that keeps me going.
Beautiful. That gives you joy and that will
Yeah,
keep you going.
yeah.
Thank
Whether
you so much, Nivedita. Thank you for your time and your patience and your beautiful questions.
thank
I
you.
really enjoyed this conversation.
Thank you.